takes us in this morning, where our guest is already here to have a conversation with us and to answer a couple of questions. It seems that everybody is wondering who's going to do what, including the people who might be in a position of opposition in this case. The Member of Parliament for Suba South constituency is one Caroli Omondi, and he joins us in the Situation Room this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Karibu sana.
Asanteni sana. I'm happy to be here.
We're glad to have you, and we thank you for coming because, like I said, there's a lot and maybe just to unravel some of these things, and never too early to do so. But before we do that, Dennis has taken us this week to Malawi.
Yes, a bit of a country. But you think about Lake Malawi. Malawi as a country, first of all, is landlocked. But Lake Malawi stands out because it is one of the largest lakes in the continent, and it covers 20% of the total land mass in the country that has around 22 million people. So if you want to enjoy sandy beaches, you would find that in Lake Malawi because they've taken care of it. But that notwithstanding as well, some of the greatest sunsets that you would ever experience in the continent, you can find it on the shores of Lake Malawi as the sunsets. So something to think about. But the problem that you get this morning, you cannot plow a field, sow seeds, harvest crops, and eat them on the same day. How would you interpret it?
You cannot plow?
You cannot plow a field, sow seeds, harvest crops, and eat them on the same day.
That reminds me of something they used to tell us in lower primary in the old days. Simon Makonde, the story of Simon Makonde, who was born on a Monday, blah, 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 married God knows when, was buried on a Sunday. I think they were teaching us how to count the days.
Yeah.
Basically, you have to be patient. You have to work. Things take time to yield the fruits. Yeah, so you have to wait.
You have to wait.
I've been to Malawi a few times, but mainly on transit. In Blantyre.
Yeah.
But I've also been to Lilongwe.
Yeah.
I think it borders Lake Tanganyika as well, is it?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very long, and it's I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are a lot of Kenyans there actually. Yeah, who are teaching, who are working in Malawi. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Indeed. So we're looking at the Linda Mwananchi blueprint today. And over the last, few days, there's a lot of euphoria. And there is a lot of, I don't know if it's amongst the people, renewed hope kind of thing. But then there's also a lot of a question and a demand for understanding in terms of what really this is. And I know that we've had a previous conversation to kind of understand where we're going. And you came off of a place whereby it was, Kenyans were looking for more. Kenyans were looking for something else, which Linda Mwananchi is going to answer to. But then there seems to be calls for a platform that's formal in nature, that people can understand what exactly this is. Is that necessary to do now, Caroli?
Yes, I think so. I think we've reached at a point when we have to now clearly give our supporters and the nation more details about what our plans are. I think it is just the right thing to do because there's a lot of support for Linda Mwananchi and there's a very strong desire for change. So to be in this space, we have to provide a lot of clarity. What is going to happen is that we are going to transform ourselves into a political party because our continued stay in ODM is no longer tenable. Remember, Linda Mwananchi started off as a breakaway from ODM. In terms of the broad-based arrangement, we did not agree with it. So, but it has now grown. It's beyond the ODM quartet that we used to have, because now we have people from different parties coming in. So there are two levels. We need our supporters to understand. The way we foresee it happening is this. There'll be a party for us.
Okay.
Then there'll be a grand coalition of all opposition parties.
Okay.
I think we need to be very clear on this.
Okay.
Yes. We will have our own party as Linda Mwananchi. And we will nominate, Edwin Sifuna as the presidential candidate of our party.
That's clear.
That is
already.
clear.
Okay.
And then with James Orengo as the party leader and Babu Owino, they will lead together with a team we will put together to negotiate with the opposition to form a grand coalition of parties. We want to move the way we did in 2002 because Kenyans want change. But this change cannot be delivered by one group. There are intergenerational questions, there are intergenerational interests, and we want a round one, as I've always said, knockout. We don't want any doubt about this election. So we are going to now move up. And people may ask, so what is Linda Mwananchi going to be anchored on in terms of ideology? Linda Mwananchi is anchored on something we call social market democracy, or what others call social market economy. There are three pillars when you talk about social market democracy or social market economy. One is democratic governance. Two is free enterprise, free market. And the third pillar is social justice. So we are going to be anchored on social market economy. Basically, we are a bit to the center left of the political spectrum. And on Wednesday, we are meeting this week. We are putting together the elements of our manifesto. I always hear President Ruto say we have no plan, we are clueless. He will be surprised. We understand this better than he does. And somebody who has worked with us, he should know that. Yes, he should know that. We worked with him in ODM, he should know that. We understand what we do. So we are going to be a party of center-left, promoting social market economy principles founded on democratic, free enterprise, and social justice. Yes.
This is not, from what I'm hearing you say, that this is clearly planned out, that people know what they're doing.
Yes.
So it's not a bandwagon. But it appears as though, for a lot of people, it would appear as though it's the flavor of the month. As late as of yesterday, there are people who have joined. People who are saying that we're going with Linda Mwananchi. How will you demarcate the difference between something that seems as though it's just popular at the moment, that people can ride on, as opposed to something that is directed squarely and clearly for change?
There are two elements to it. You see, there's the leadership level and the support level. At the support level, you really, every vote counts, and there's equality of votes.
Okay.
So at that level, whoever comes, I mean, we have no control. But at leadership level, there are expectations Kenyans have, expectations of change. And we are aware a lot of people will come, opportunistic ones, those who are ideologically inclined. There'll be many people. But we want to break away from the past. We want the politics to be a little different. We want to respond to the aspirations that the current generations have. We want responsible leadership. You see, one of the biggest problems is that most of the leaders are not fit for purpose, to be honest. Yeah, to be honest. We have a system of leadership in this country that people are seeking lifestyle through politics. It's not public service. They are more concerned with, I want to be a big person. I want to sit on a big chair. I want to drive a big car. I want to have power. When I go somewhere, people recognize me. It's not that they're interested in public service, or they even have an idea what public service is. So we want to break from that. And we want to encourage young people to offer themselves for leadership positions. You know, the MCA position, people take it lightly. But if you look at the salary of an MCA, he's almost that of a university professor. So why do you elect uneducated people to that position with that kind of salary? And it is so important at that level if you want to take devolution and development closer to the people. So we really want to be careful who we put in leadership positions. But this is a democracy, you know. Somebody may come a crook, he's popular, guys will vote for him. But we want to have a conversation with the voters and ask them, please give us educated people, people who are public spirited, and people who can work for you. That's what we want to do.
Caroli, you look at Kenyans, especially those that you've met during your rounds across the country, and it is a push that Kenyans say, we want things to be done differently, because many say there's no way as a country we'll keep on doing things the same way and expect different results. And with this, then there is then the conversation of how then political parties become the first sieve of individuals who will be running for office. Because then again, if someone is coming in with questionable character, questionable background, what then is the responsibility of a political party in ensuring that those that they offer to the public, those that will carry the ticket of the party, are individuals who the party can stand by and say, this is the best that we are offering to you because we've done the burden of sieving and separating the chaff from the wheat.
I've always argued that our political parties have failed in what they were supposed to do. Unfortunately, there's a lot of money, by the way, being spent on these political parties under the political party funding. Do you know they are owed 72 billion? Yes. I think it is a crime. I've even moved an amendment to the Political Parties Act in Parliament so that the financing of political parties is tied to actual election costs. That is how it works elsewhere. In this country, they've put a percentage of the audited revenues that is then shared among political parties. So you find a political party is claiming 4 billion, 5 billion. Political parties are private members clubs. They are not different from Nairobi Club or Gor Mahia Football or AFC. So why is the taxpayer giving them 5 billion when there's no capitation for university or we don't have medicine in our hospitals? Political party funding is supposed to be for election to create a level playing field so that people can have equal media access, you can espouse your policies, you can handle your logistics, and then you compete. It is not an avenue for making money. And they are claiming 72 billion from the exchequer. So I ask myself, what the hell is this? But people who have entrenched interest in this funding, I'm sure they will oppose my amendments. But I'll push and make the argument. And if we take power, we will change it. Because you cannot have political parties as avenues for self-enrichment of individuals, because that is the system that we now have. Political parties have failed us because even though they have this money, political parties don't vet who comes, most of them. A few try here and there, but we don't have that strong vetting. As Linda Mwananchi, there are a lot of people, we just see they've printed posters, they've joined Linda Mwananchi, they come to rallies, claiming, okay, we will run on Linda Mwananchi. Of course, we can't stop them. It is their democratic right. But for us, we are very careful. You see, even the people we put forward in our podiums. You must see, even we are struggling, even, we are still short of ladies. You can clearly see that. But the few we have are quality. Faith Odhiambo is as they are type of politicians we don't want, to be honest. Because Kenyans, it's the wrong presentation, especially to young people. And they have told us, this country, there's something, you have slay queens and slay kings. You know them, to them, politics is entertainment and jokes, and lifestyle. Those are the people we don't want, to be honest. They can be supporters, you can do anything. But to put you in leadership, we will do as much as we can to have a good vetting process. But we hope the electorate will support us, because there they have the final say. I remember one time somebody, I will not mention, there was a by-election, and he went to the late Raila's house one morning, saying he wants to be our candidate in that by-election. And he was very popular. And we were wondering, where did this guy come from? So when Raila asked me, do you know this guy? I said, but he looks like the person we were being told is involved in a lot of fraudulent activities. But he went ahead and won, that guy. We rejected him, but he went and won. So
to be cautious about that. The questions around what you said, that Linda Mwananchi there will be a political party that will be formed, because there's a need for that formation. Because if you look later, do form governments, then you need people in particular positions to then push particular agenda that would go then with this social democratic agenda that you speak about. But then there's the question about what has been called the united opposition for a very long time, and that it seems unclear how this will all come together because of the fact that everybody seems to want to be in these positions of leadership.
Yes.
How will you be able to chart those waters when there is a desire for everyone to be at the top? And they've not made this, it's not hidden, it's out in the open. That already from this united opposition, you have 6 or 7 people who want to be president.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Actually, the greatest worry to Kenyans is that the opposition will not be united and that the current kakistocratic regime will have a through pass. We know that. And we are going to do everything we can in our power to make sure the opposition is not splintered. Because we've seen what happens. In 1992, Ford, the original Ford, forget about Ford Kenya, Ford people, the original Ford was actually bigger than even Linda Mwananchi today. Yeah, we were there as young people. But when Moi was able to splinter them, he came back with 32% of the vote. 78% did not vote for him. 68% did not vote for Moi. 68%. But he came back. He did the same thing in 97. So 2002, the opposition learned they better be united. And they won 2-1. Yeah, in fact, I was privileged with my senior Ambrose Rachir to do the MOU that brought that coalition together. And everybody declaring that their presidential candidate is not a problem. Everybody having that ambition is not a problem.
Okay.
You remember even within ODM when we formed it in 2005, we had Ruto, a presidential candidate, Raila, Najib Balala. We had very many people, the late Joe Nyaga. But eventually, people got together. Yeah. What is now happening is we all started from different places. United opposition were ahead of us. They coalesced around alternative government formation, and everybody there wants to be president. And that is not a bad thing. So we have come and we realize we have to sit down with them, and we are going to sit down with them. We are already doing it. If you look closely, you'll see Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka supporters are with us in Linda Mwananchi. People with Rigiji are now with us in Linda Mwananchi. JB Muturi's people are with us. Martha's people are with us. Maybe you may not know them, but when we're in those functions, you'll see a lot of them. You know, we have all come from different political parties. And the reality is, we know we can push. You can be the most popular. Linda Mwananchi can be ahead. But if the opposition is splintered, we probably will not win. Yeah. So we are not going to allow it to happen. And those are going to be tough negotiations. But they are negotiations that are going to be based on reform platform. Yeah. And you know, there are only 2 positions. There are only 2 positions, president and deputy president. Yeah, we can't create more. So people have to understand that. And so far, so good. We've been meeting. You saw we had a meeting with Honorable Matiang'i.
Yeah.
We are meeting Kalonzo this week. We will meet Rigiji. Actually, we've had a lot of informal discussions with him. I spoke with him last week. You know, everybody has been spending time telling us how bad Rigiji is or how bad the Kikuyu community is. We don't buy that kind of nonsense. Yeah, and it's so unfortunate what Honorable Duale said. You saw what happened in India when they called young people cockroaches. Yes, I mean, it is very bad statement. For us, we don't see an impossibility in terms of engaging anybody. We see an opportunity to bring Kenya together. So we are going to talk to them, and I believe we will find a formula. A winning formula, but based on reform, a platform of reform. People have to sign off to that. That we will do A, B, C, D. It's not just coming together to take power. So we have to agree on a platform of reform. And Gen Z's already gave us. You remember they gave us 17 points. Yes. So we have to build on that and agree and sign off. And I don't think when I look at these leaders, I don't think they'll be crazy enough to be bought or to bolt out. It is too risky. It is too risky. If you are not with United Opposition or Linda Mwananchi, or if you try to do something else, like going back to where we are running away from, you are on your own, let me tell you.
I mean, with the meetings you've had with Kenyans, there is a message. There is what Kenyans are communicating, and that is change. We want things to be done differently. Now, with that, then, that Linda Mwananchi has taken that to be the clarion call. This is the foundation within which we are forming the party, foundation within which we are forming our agenda. Our manifesto will be anchored on what 17-point agenda you say the Gen Zs gave. This is all that Kenyans have said. Are they the same ideologies that then, say, the United Opposition as well are coming with on the table, or you will present what it is you have, then discuss with the alternative opposition, alternative government?
Yes, you see, as I've said, as Linda Mwananchi, our party is anchored on social market economy or social market democracy. But let's even take it further.
Yeah.
What are Kenyans telling us? There are three things that stand out in all our meetings, in our engagements. Number one, Kenyans are telling us they want our national values given life. You know, Article 10. Yes. Kenyans want to see transparency. They want to see a system that is not corrupt. They want to feel the government works for them. They just want an orderly society. So they want us to entrench our national values. That's number one. Kenyans want efficiency in delivery of public service. They want efficiency, not this wanton theft and misuse of resources that we are now experiencing. They want, if it is a road that is being built, build it at cost, on time, and within budget, and quality. You know, they want efficiency in delivery of government and services. And finally, they want accounts. Don't want people to steal and run away. People to do things and not be accountable. Those are the three things they really want. They want a society built on values. They want efficiency. They want accountability. Now, what the other United Opposition members are doing, we still cannot talk about it because, you know, there are different groups. But us as Linda Mwananchi, we are going with those. Those are the things that we really want to deal with. We want to insist when we're on that table that we want accountability, we want efficiency, and we want national values entrenched. Because there's no point telling people you will build a road, you'll build a stadium. Those are useless things. Or we will put a factory here. Be efficient. Practice your values. Create a government that works for people. Those things will come. Yeah, you know, people, that's why I was telling you, President Ruto talks about manifestos, that we don't know what we are doing. His manifesto is just a story telling, oh, we will put this concrete here, we will put this bridge here. That's not how you build a great nation. You build a great nation on values, on efficiency, on accountability. That is why our manifesto will be very different from what he thinks. And then he will realize he didn't know what he has been saying all along. Yeah. We want to be very we know what Kenyans want. Kenyans can build their own schools. They're private people who have schools. But why are Kenyans not having jobs? Because somebody is stealing somewhere. Because somebody is overpricing government projects. Because somebody is refusing to pay when you have done a contract or work for government. So you are stuck. Because somebody has mismanaged the economy, the interest rates are so high. Why are the interest rates high in this country? Why is the cost of power high? State capture. Those are the things we need to deal with. Yeah, the structural issues. Yeah, free. When we talk about free enterprise, state capture, deal with it. That is why we have high cost of power, because the people who are producing power are the same ones making decisions on the sector. Yeah, so we want to clean them. That's what we mean by accountability. Yeah, and we are telling people, if you've been stealing, we will come for you. Because we are not going to fight corruption the standard way. The judiciary must be ready. If we take government, we are going to have a multi-task force supported by foreign experts and local people to do financial tracing, to present evidence, that incontrovertible evidence, recover that money. Today, you know what they've done to Kenyatta University and University of Nairobi? They've stolen so much of land from those universities. We know. We will get it back to the universities. And people will see it. It's not just a story. Yeah, because you see, people have been getting away because there's no serious government to do the investigations. Yeah, if we don't do that, Kenyans will never forgive us. They'll never forgive us. We will do it. Yeah.
Okay, we're with Caroli Omondi this morning. Let's take a break and we'll come back. There's a lot of euphoria that came off of the weekend, and there were large crowds. We want to understand what that large crowd means and beyond what we saw, and then try to understand what it actually means to you who are seeing those crowds, and whether you're satisfied or with that showing and what it actually means. We've been on those podiums, you see it, and then going to Bungoma, where and before that Trans Nzoia, and then on towards Bungoma, and the large crowds, I mean hundreds of thousands of people asking you to stop as you went from village to village, passing and said, no, stop and address us. I mean, that must have been, must have been a great moment. But after that, do you think about whether those crowds were excited in the moment, whether it was a euphoric moment, and whether the seed of this change that you've spoken about this morning has actually been planted for later germination in the hearts of those hundreds of thousands of people who came out this weekend, who came out in Kitengela, who came out in Kisumu, who came out in, before that, Busia? Has the seed been planted from what you see?
Yeah, I think we are just responding to what Kenyans have all along wanted. Look at what we did in Taita Taveta. When we went there, Mwatate, Undanyi, Voi, you saw the crowds. And Kitengela, you've mentioned it. You remember Kitengela was very heavy. At that time, we were being fought left, right, and center. Kitengela, they even tried to attack us in the church where we went to pray. But when we got onto the road, we were shocked by the turnout. Kisumu, they tried to block us. In fact, when we were going to Kakamega, they barricaded the airport. They brought 500 or 1,000 goons there, armed with machetes and the rest. We had to find ways of getting to the venue. Personally, I went through the airport. I went through them. I was in a construction vehicle. And I went through them. They just couldn't figure out I was there.
You.
But I saw them with pankas and everything, waiting to cut us. But that's the day we were going to Kakamega. Then they even followed us. They put people on motorbikes to follow us, to try and stone us on the way to Kakamega.
And who's they?
It is the government and ODM, these guys being paid money.
And you know this unequivocally?
Yes, we know that. We know. Then, when we now went back to Kisumu, on our way into town, the first place they stopped us was near the airport. And it's a local MP who was given money there, tried to mobilize people. And they were chased, literally. The public was chased. Kisumu shocked us. What you saw in Bungoma and Trans Nzoia is what was in Kisumu. We don't pay anybody to come to our rallies. We just put a podium, we send a truck, and we fuel our vehicles and we go. Kisumu, from the airport, they lined the road. We had expected to be attacked when you're entering the industrial area. When we got there, the people who had been put there disappeared. They just ran away. I saw somebody at Aga Khan Hospital coming with the drip, waving at us. And we were shocked. All the mechanics came out. The women came with the cooking sticks. When we got, we had planned a quick dash into Nyalenda where we were going to pray. We couldn't. We had to literally, crawl into the church and come out. And you saw what even happened. They tried to stop us at Kondele. That did not work. And what I saw in Western, people were they were lining the roads. You probably just saw the rallies, but as we were driving, the people came. They were lining, the children, women, old people. They were on the roads. Kenyans want change. That is what they're telling us. They want change. This is what they want. They are not happy with the way things are. And this government is spending so much money in Western Kenya. Literally, they can't have a meeting without paying people. That weekend, they were in two places. They were in Teso, they were in Malava. The remnants of ODM, the few people who are still left there. were trying to speak to people in Malava. People were even walking out of the meeting. If you see the videos, you'll see them saying, "You in this coffee, why are you running away? Come back, the meeting has not ended." Because everybody is paid. To meet people, they have to call it empowerment so that people come. They spend 5 million shillings every week in Suba South constituency, my constituency. Every week, they are sending 5 million shillings. I've told the people, I've opened the granary for you. Eat. Because they are spending money now. You see what they did in Olkalau.
Yeah.
They are spending it in Western Kenya and Nyanza. And we are telling our people, eat that money. Because they are doing it because of our resistance. Yeah. They think they can buy the people away from us. It will not work. My constituency, 5 million a week. Members of parliament, 500,000 a week. They're being given. MCAs in Nairobi, 500,000 a month.
The amounts that you're talking about, Caroli, are outstanding.
I'm giving you facts.
Where does this money come from in your thought?
Confidential expenditure and proceeds of corruption. Yes, proceeds of corruption. The MPs, there's this thing we call sangwenya. These youths who get hired for politics, which you guys call goons. The MPs have become sangwenyas themselves. Yeah. I am telling you on good authority, in Nairobi, every MCA gets 500,000 a month if you're aligned to the broad-based government. MPs get 500,000 a week. In my constituency, there's a minister who is given 5 million a week and a chopper. Even on Sunday, he is everywhere. Yeah. Yes. And I'm telling the people, take the money. And now we are telling them, once you take the money, send 10 shillings to Linda Mwananchi.
and that's a good place to get into, because with all the crowds that we're seeing that are organic in nature, one then asks the question, as Linda Mwananchi, how do we change those two votes? Because it does not mean that everybody who's there, first of all, has registered. So I saw what you did in Taita Taveta, where that was a civic education on utapiga kura wapi, mjumbe wako ni nani, which polling station. That was civic education, telling the citizens, the voters, on the need of knowing why even they're going to the elections, why they're going to vote for a good leader and who that is. But then again, there is also about campaign financing, where the game is changing. We saw what happened in Bungoma, where Kenyans themselves were donating their 10 shillings, and in all this, you're showing hii imetoka mahali fulani. How is that a game changer, especially where we know many are spending money that cannot be traced? While in Linda Mwananchi, we can say these are donations that have come from the people. How is that a game changer as we go to 2027?
You see, they've been lying that retired President Uhuru Kenyatta is supporting us. It's a lie.
Is he?
He's not. Maybe, I'm sure he's with us in spirit.
Yeah.
But other than the fact that he's the chairman of the Council of Azimio, where I'm the Secretary General, there's no other connection. That is all. He doesn't support us. We raise money amongst ourselves. We do a budget. We sit down, we agree. People contribute, some more this week, others the next week. But once we have our budget, we all put it together and we all fundraise. And we have records. We can show you here. Whenever we have a function, you'll see we have sent M-Pesa to our colleague who is organizing the event. There's somebody who has supported the advance team. Somebody has paid for. That's what we do. And because we can't match the stolen resources that this administration has. So we can't. We are not going to peg our campaigns on money or compete at the level of money. We are not. And we want, there's a fundamental question here you have asked. This country, if we allow politics to capture, money to capture our politics, we will block out all the good people, all the young people. We must now make politics something that is accessible to all. Yeah. And the only way is to make sure it is not captured by big money. And that is what we are trying to do. People ask us for T-shirts. We tell them everybody who is here with a T-shirt or a cap made it themselves. We don't make for people. We don't give them. Yeah, we tell them. That's the old thinking. That's the old school. Yeah. Where we come and we flood you with coffees like ODM is doing. They were given 200 million to make branding.
Yeah.
Those things. Yeah, they were given. So, whereas we don't do that, we tell you we will give you the prints, we will give you if you want, but you go make your own T-shirt. That is how it happens in other jurisdictions. You support your party by buying their paraphernalia. Yeah, but as we just allow guys, this is a slogan or this is it. Make your T-shirts, make your.
How is the ownership by Mwananchi now that you see they're the ones who are funding the campaign?
Yes.
When it comes to even the prints that you're talking about, it is them who are doing it for themselves. How heavy does the responsibility then become to the those elected to deliver? Because at the end of the day, your campaign is funded by the people.
Yes.
It is the agenda from the people. It is the people who are telling you, we are the ones who are putting you there. How heavy is the responsibility then when you look at Mwananchi in terms of delivery as opposed to the old way of pay for your transport to come to our meetings?
You see, number one, I've always asked my colleagues, I always ask them. In fact, I remember the day we were on the eve of going to Kisumu, we went to pay our respects to Baba in Bondo. So when we were when we were at Bondo and we were talking to the family, I asked my colleagues, do you people really understand what this is all about? Because if we don't deliver, first Gen Zs will put our foot to the fire. If you don't deliver, the consequences will be dire. I will get the clip and show you. Because we understand it. We know. And that is why people are willing to engage with us at no cost, in fact, at their expense. And Obama, you know, was not funded by the big boys when he first ran. Actually, it was small donations, $20, $30. That's what propelled him. And we don't want a lot of money. Yes, we just want to do our logistics. Yes, we just want to do our logistics. And we are going to encourage people to volunteer. There's some guy just called us randomly. He said, every time you guys come to these parts, or he gave us some list, yes? If you are going there, tell me. Any one of you, give me your car registration. I'll fuel for you. I'll give you enough fuel to take you back. You know, people are telling us all sorts of things. And that is how politics should be, so that everybody owns it and feels part of it. And you are responsible for delivering their expectations.
Is there anything wrong, Caroli, with having a general financier? What folks in another jurisdiction, as you refer to, would call a PAC. Is there anything wrong with that? Because we seem to be applying some kind of moral ineptitude towards having a financier for a political campaign, because then it ties questions of where did the money come from and things like this. Is there anything fundamentally wrong with doing that?
You know, personally, I've put a lot of money in politics at a personal level. Because when you're starting a party, there's not enough resources. So there'll be anchor supporters, those who can put up the systems. Start by maybe donating something or buying something or paying for something. Or, you know, when we will have agents, we will, some logistics. There are things people have to pay for. So there'll be individuals who can support that. Actually, the system of PACs in America is Super PAC or whatever they are called. It's they use it to subvert election financing regulations because there are limits a candidate can spend and all that. So then they set an organization separate, and the organization money is funneled there, so they pay for other things
from there.
Or they are driving a specific agenda. Here, I think what for us, we don't want to exaggerate the expenditure. Because we will not have that money. We just want to make sure our logistics are okay, the basics are covered, and Kenyans support us for believing in that we need a better Kenya, not for bribing them.
So something to put to bed is that, of course, there are allegations that, you know, we saw this moving moment whereby there are people who are giving. We saw the same thing in Okalau, and people were counting 10 shilling coins and people saying, well, here it is, take what I have so that you can push this agenda. We saw the same thing in Trans Nzoia. People are giving Bungoma, people giving 50 shillings, 100 shillings. The allegation is that there was a few people, and that somebody in the corner gave somebody some notes and said, okay, come you guys, and so we can put it on camera. Did you see, was there a moment where people actually said, if this is change that we're going to see, take my widow's mite, as it were, and take that? Or is it orchestrated?
Think about it. We opened a pay bill. Small, that can be audited. Small denominations. We raised 5 million. Where did that come from? Where did that? People are sending money in there, and you know, politics has a way of. There are things that you organic things that you go to a place and you find somebody has done them. Somebody will just volunteer that I'm now Linda Mwananchi man in this market, yeah, and he'll just go around telling people put 50 shillings here, or a border guy who is a popular mobilizer somewhere, or a women leader. They just do it. I mean, when we went to Nyahururu, we were shocked in the church. The chair lady of the church, people who don't speak politics, she was so emotional. She came and told us, young men, yeah, don't let us down. We are praying for you. She was very emotional. Don't let us down. We need change. Yeah. And she said, hata kama ni shilingi 200 tutatoa. Yeah. When we're in Nyahururu. Yeah. So people will give that money. There's nothing being orchestrated there. People will, if they believe in it, they will. But I must thank the people of Olkalau, really. They were impressive. Because again there, even as Rigiji was campaigning, a lot of our colleagues were going to Olkalau. We were supporting each other, yes, because the MPs had wards and they had different areas and things to cover. So as the United, as Linda Mwananchi, some of our colleagues, we would give them a bit of mafuta here and there on Fridays for their moves there. And they kept assuring us, and we also kept doing our polling. Eh? And you remember, we had wanted to go there, yeah, but then we realized there was a scheme to scuttle the by-election if we had gone there. Yeah, we were going to be attacked. In fact, we had information. Babu Owino's team got us very credible information as to the points where we were going to be attacked. So we decided not to give them an opportunity to do that. Yeah, but the people of Olkalau, that was amazing. And President Ruto should realize the 5,000 vote that Muchina got, that candidate, you know, he had been constituency CDF manager for I think 10 or 15 years. Those were his votes. Those are not UDA votes. Those are Muchina's votes. People he had helped with bursaries, people who knew him. Actually, they liked him. Those were his votes. And those votes, even in a presidential election, will not go to Ruto. You should know that. Even in Mbere, yeah, the mistake they made in Mbere is they think because they rigged Mbere and won by 400 votes, that vote will go to the presidential ticket. That vote will not go to UDA at the presidential level. Yeah.
I want us to, we can extend this conversation just a little bit. We'll keep you a few minutes after 8 o'clock because then we can go into a number of things. And that one of the things that you talked about, the 17 points that younger people have said, these are non-negotiables that you must do if we're looking for change. But one of them is not to recycle people who've been in the politics for the last 3 decades, especially those who've been in the limelight but have been unable to achieve the reality of hope that Kenyans have. What are you going to do with that? Because even in the United Opposition, Caroli, there are people who they've been vice presidents, they've been in the political space for 30 years. And Kenyans are saying, well, what have you done really? And why should we give you another opportunity? So it would appear as though the letdown for them would be, and this is serious, if Linda Mwananchi were to absorb people who have been in that space for a long time and have not borne accountability for leadership and governance. How will you deal with that?
You see, I think it was Clinton, President Clinton, who famously retorted to somebody that my worry with you is not your age, but the age of your ideas. I think longevity in politics itself is not a crime. How long somebody has been in politics is not a crime. Baba was in politics for a very long time. And Baba was in politics trying to push reform. And if we applied that yardstick that somebody has been in politics long enough, or we now don't need him, we would have shut out Baba. But Baba was always representing the hopes and aspirations of every generation. Yeah? So longevity itself is not a problem. I don't think that is a problem. We should instead interrogate the character of the person We should instead interrogate the commitment of the person to our reform agenda and be realistic. If that person has a faithful support base, we don't want to lose that faithful support base. And I've always said that this election, there'll be compromises of generations. People have to compromise in this election. Yes, and that is what has been missing in this country. We've never learned as a community to compromise and coalesce, and then, even in traffic, when people collaborate, traffic moves very quickly.
Right.
If you use the zip system, one vehicle from one end going through. And I want to tell Kenyans, allow us as Linda Mwananchi to engage with united opposition. If people have bad character there, we have somebody with bad character or bad habit or whatever, Kenyans they know what they will do. But to say that, we are not going to work with this person because he has been a minister for so long or he has been in politics for so long, that is not building a new Kenya. Yeah, you can't say you want to bring Kenyans together and you're excluding others. Yeah, the reality is we have to build a coalition that is committed to a reform platform and that builds the numbers to give us electoral victory in round one. People have to be pragmatic about this.
Right.
Yes, and because, Obama had a vice president who was much, much older than him and more experienced, Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Biden came back.
He did.
And became president after Obama. So age is not the issue. It is the age of the ideas that somebody has, which is the issue. Yeah.
I mean, at the center of these all, Kenyans are asking, for a very long time, we have been hopeful. We have trusted individuals with our votes. We have trusted manifestos and agenda that have been given to us. But every other time, there is a letdown in one way or the other. So the biggest task, perhaps, then for Linda Mwananchi and the united opposition is to convince Kenyans that things will not happen as before. So questions around accountability, right to live, because we want to live to enjoy these good roads, we want to enjoy these markets, right? But you must live first. So what are some of the non-negotiables? What are some of the promises that Linda Mwananchi and united opposition is telling Kenyans today that even as we seek your votes, this is what we promise you we will deliver and we will not go against this promise?
Yes. That's why I said we will not have a manifesto that is typical, where we say we will put a market, we'll do a road, we'll do this. That's not what we are going to do. What Kenyans want, number one, as I said, entrenching our national values. People want to see a public officer who does not talk like Duale. You don't abuse a community. You don't call fellow Kenyans hyenas. That is what Kenyans want. People just want leaders who respect them. So this we will implement by bringing people who are not tainted, but also disciplining those who get offline. Yeah. People just want those values. Chapter 6, integrity, Article 10, Article 232, civil service that is not tribalized. Those are the things Kenyans want. The rest they'll do. People want accountability. Accountability has very many facets. Police officers conspiring to kill. You saw the other day, this is now for the Luo Nation. Yeah, 2 people were appointed from the Luo Nation, and a lot of people talk. We were given jobs. Owino was appointed spokesperson for the police. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or for the government?
For the government.
Yes. Then another guy from Migori was appointed the chairperson of IPOA. To the simple mind, Luos have been given jobs. But then, if you discern it, it's a scheme, because if you look at the records, majority of the people who have been abducted or who have been killed by this administration, including the boy who was killed in the vehicle of a PS, the 2 who are missing in Mathare, Albert Ojwang, they are Luos. So these people are being given these positions to actually clean the mess. But a lot of people don't see that. Those are the things we don't want. People want to see accountability. People want, if a police officer deliberately kills a person, there's accountability. If you steal, you're a public officer, and your main task is to enrich yourself in that office, you you are held accountable. Those are the things they want to see. Efficiency, as I said. Kenyans just want to know that the money, the taxes they pay are used properly. And you're not going to tell them, oh, we'll build a market for you and all these things. Create systems that promote efficiency.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start